Everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with another layout following along with the A Cherry on Top Weekly Sketch Challenge. It is a grid layout, which I am always a fan of. I feel like those kind of come together pretty quickly. I am going to be using the Great Escape collection from Cocoa Vanilla Studios, along with this cut file here that I bought actually from my neighbor. And I've had in my stash for quite some time. So I thought the color matched pretty good with the collection. Initially, I thought I wanted to do this pattern paper as my background paper because in the sketch, if you look closely, there are hearts on the background, implying a pattern paper. However, I did not like the color matchup of those arrows and this blue, and so I decided to just use a white base and use the blue as kind of a border around the layout. So I am going just to trim an inch off of two sides for this layout and just have the blue as the border around here. I am going to end up actually backing every other arrow, just using some scraps that are in the or in my stash, I guess, from this collection. But in the sketch, they had little hearts on the left-hand side as like an embellishment, and so I kind of decided to add the arrows to the left-hand side of the page, kind of mimicking the hearts on the sketch. So I am going to end up using a 3x4 card, a cut apart, as my fourth photo per se. I have the two 4x6 like the sketch showed, one 3x4, and then the 3x4 cut apart for my grid. I will say that I actually used this sketch twice. You will see the same sketch being used tomorrow, but that one is going to start a kind of a Valentine's Day theme. I think there's 3 layouts in a row using My Life 365, the February papers. So I figured why not kind of cluster those right around Valentine's Day itself. So I don't know, both of these layouts only took me about 20-25 minutes, and I really think it's because of the grid concept. As I was completing the second one and realizing it was not taking me long whatsoever, I'm thinking it just, I don't know, you make a grid and it really does kind of take up most of the area on the layout. And so really there's not much more that needs to be added. So I do think it's a good kind of starting point. Maybe if you are stuck or in a slump, maybe try a grid layout. This one, you know, I brought in a cut apart. You will see tomorrow's layout. I only actually have one photo on it, so stay tuned for that because I do follow along with the sketch pretty closely, but using only one photo. I kind of use what cut aparts and whatnot that I had left from the collection, and yeah, just had a lot of fun with that one as well. So these are the papers that I am backing the cut file with. There are feathers, there's the wood grain, and then that really bright kind of orange chevron. And when I backed them, I ideally wanted the arrows facing into my layout, the ones that are backed. You will see that now I can't even remember why it doesn't work or why I changed it, but I end up peeling that up. So I'm glad that I only used some tape and was able to move that around because, yeah, I really prefer the way that it looks when I switch it out. So I decided to start kind of with the top right, taping it down because I have that arrow line on the left. I really wanted to get the pictures, we'll call them, I guess, over as far to the right as I could, kind of leaving a white space in between, again, kind of mimicking, don't know why I struggle with that word, bordering your photo, but I didn't feel like it was necessary because they were going right on white paper, and I really didn't want to take up more space by matting them multiple times. So I think this might be where I realize, if I turn the arrows the other way, more of the pattern paper will be seen. And so that is, I think, why I do end up changing them so that they are pointing out, unfortunately. I wish I would have thought about that, because I would have, maybe, I don't know. I really wanted the arrows pointing into my photos. At least the ones that were backed, because obviously they're pointing both ways. But this way you at least get to see more of the pattern paper. I am going to use Adventure for my title and place it to the top left like they had in the sketch. When I did rip up that top arrow, there was some paper that got ripped a little bit. And so I just kind of I knew the title was going up there. And so I just kind of figured that I would cover that up with an embellishment. So in the sketch, they had kind of a subtitle down on the bottom right. So I decided to kind of use the trees and then see what else I could add over top of that kind of as a subtitle. I did find like a slab of wood and figured that would be a good piece to kind of fill in that top arrow, cover up my kind of the boo-boo up there, I guess. So I am going to end up using the tree and then a phrase explore kind of as my subtitle, like the sketch said, but add the trees to it, make it an embellishment cluster. I think that's one thing, and I know that I guess I assume she's making them generic. I think it's Rachel at A Cherry on Top is doing the sketches, but making them generic so that we can take kind of our own spin on things. But I definitely feel the need to add more, add more to what the sketch has. And so I did end up, adding the trees, and then I'll add some finishing touches to that as well. I did look at changing that piece that's in the middle. I just thought, I have this big wide open sky. I have a chance to add an embellishment cluster in there too. I just felt like there was a need for a third cluster, and so I'm gonna actually add it right to my photo there. So I did pop up that on foam tape because I wanted to kind of put these phrase stickers, kind of tuck them underneath there. So I am only going to add 2, but then I will go ahead and finish the layout off with some of these. I think they're like epoxy stars. Initially add 2 to each of the clusters, or I guess 1. 2 to the top, and I am going to add a third up there, and then just keep 2 with the other clusters, which kind of is bugging me, but I didn't feel like it needed more. Usually I really try to keep 3 in each of the clusters, especially if I'm adding like stars, enamel dots, hearts. I'm going to try to keep the 2 here. Let me know what you think. If you are kind of add a group of 3 or keep it at 2. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this layout. Again, stay tuned for tomorrow's layout using the same sketch, but different papers and only 1 photo. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.